Here are some things.
All right, hello folks. Once again, this is an episode of the Some Things Podcast. I am Dylan, and with me today is...
It's Luke!
Hey-oh. That thing's going for a while, man.
This theme? Yeah. It's the same length as always.
No, it just seemed louder. I don't know.
Louder? Oh, well, I wanted to be more exciting this time.
More exciting. Oh, well,
Do you think it worked?
I think so. Well, we probably bursted some eardrums, but that's a good thing, you know. We don't have to cover the medical benefits.
Well, I know your voice was louder.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys at home, am I louder? All right.
Hey, so I know we owe a few people some peanut M&Ms.
Oh, already?
Yeah. So my mom has gotten at least one. Mm-hmm. Gustavo got another one.
Yes. Sarah's coworker, Marissa, I believe.
We haven't given her one yet?
No, we didn't know. Okay, we did.
No, I'm talking about new ones.
Oh, people we owe.
Yeah,
from...
people who've gotten the phrase recently. So mom and then Gustavo. Gustavo keeps popping up, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a goose. He's got that long neck. He just pops up, comes around the corner like, you guys mention my name?
He and mom are working on that #1 fanship.
What's that?
What do you mean? The top spot is #1 fan, yeah.
In my head, okay, because no. There's a thing called shipping in different different cartoons or shows that you watch, and it's people putting their own I wish this character and this character would date each other kind of thing. So that's when you said #1 ship, and I was just like, is there a show that they're watching together where they're trying to couple up a pair of people? But
no,
I understand now.
No, I don't want to couple up Gustavo and my mom.
No. I'm not saying they're coupling up. I'm saying that it's a show that they watch. People ship people. That's what it's called. It's called shipping.
Like a Christmas gift. You ship it from Amazon to your home.
Yep, 100% on the money. You got it.
Wow.
I know.
Sounds fun.
You're smart tonight.
I try to be.
Yeah, well, not that you people will be listening to this, but happy Labor Day. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know. Luke, did you guys do anything for Labor Day? Did you barbecue or?
Yeah, we labored. We put in a bunch of carpet ourselves.
Oh, that's right, yes.
Yeah, so we started probably around 11 o'clock in the morning and didn't finish till like 4:30.
Oh my gosh, it took that long?
It was a challenge, yeah, just trying to cut it to the right size, and then all the vacuuming that had to be done. There's so much vacuuming.
And that was just getting the vacuuming off like the actual concrete floor, or vacuuming the carpet itself?
The concrete floor, and then all like the drywall, the old drywall at the very bottom that gets covered up by the baseboard. Vacuuming that so that it doesn't get underneath, and the gluing takes forever.
Yeah.
And then vacuuming the carpet again because we made a mess on it.
Of course.
Yeah. But it looks nice in there.
Yeah, I did see it. And for those of you that don't know, that's actually the room we're going to start recording in. So this episode, we got kicked out of our room. We had it last week. But, next week we should be back in there once again. I just got to remember to bring my laptop because I did drop the ball on that.
Yeah, we'll let you guys know what it looks like. We'll describe it in full detail. We'll take pictures of it for sure. We'll take pictures of it so you guys can see what our recording studio looks like. That'll be fun.
We're legit, man.
We're like a real podcast.
So who's paying the landlord, though?
My parents.
The land.
We don't have a landlord. What do you mean?
Oh, well, for the studio, I thought we have to rent it out and lease it and stuff.
If you want to pay, that'll be cool.
I bought all the equipment, man. I don't know if it's coming out of my purse this time around. All right. Well, other than that, let's see.
What?
Well,
I was going to ask, how's your week been? I know you've been trying to do weight loss stuff. How's that been going?
Oh yeah, I'm continually fighting fighting the good fight, people, with our team. Once again, I don't know if this was necessarily, it wasn't a bad week, but it wasn't good for me personally. I'm still killing it. Like, this was a 8-week program, I believe, somewhat middle or beginning of summer, and it's going to end this upcoming Wednesday on September 4th. Again, I don't know when this podcast will be released, but just to give dates and whatever, it might have already passed. I lost 3 more pounds last week doing my workouts and dieting, so I was excited about that. But my teammates, I think 2 of them, they didn't lose anything, but they didn't gain anything either, so it wasn't too bad. And then I think the other one only lost a few ounces. So
I would say they're dead weight, except they're not really dead weight. They're just weight.
Yeah,
they're a neutral weight.
Yeah, I've been trying to help them out, give like different dieting tips and advice as far as what you should do with warm-ups and workouts to get your heart rate elevated before you start. That way you're burning more calories and stuff aside from trying to build up your heart rate during the workout. Because say if you're running the treadmill for 30 minutes or whatever, you don't want to just go right onto it, because all that's going to end up happening is you're going to be building up your heart rate, but at the same time you're exhausting yourself, and then all it's going to end up happening is you're going to just peak for a few minutes and then come back down.
Yeah.
As opposed to if you do some kind of, not that it needs to be necessarily super intense of a warm up, but just something to get your blood pumping and your heart rate up. That way, again, when you first start, then it's really just going to be active and getting the heart rate, the blood rate going, and just burning more calories at the same time.
Yeah, they're not dead weight. It is hard to like.
It is.
It's hard to lose weight because it not only is it physically challenging in the moment to do it, it's hard to stay motivated, but you also have to know how to do it.
Yeah, and I know, again, they've probably been going through a lot to, not necessarily like super drama or, bad family stuff, but just in the sense of, I know they've been working out, I know they've been putting in effort and stuff. They're not just sitting there like, oh, well, whatever, we'll, let Dylan win this for us. But yeah, so right now, I think we're still in first place, but there's only 1 week left, and the team behind us is literally just 0.5% behind us, because what they do is it's not just by poundage, it's based off body weight kind of thing. So it's a percentage of body fat lost or body weight lost. And currently, I believe we're just under 6%, and that's accumulated between me and 3 other people. And then this other team, I believe, is another team of 4. And they're, like I said, they're barely behind us. So if we don't lose enough weight this week, and one of my coworkers, she's gonna have to weigh in tomorrow, so hopefully she did good over the weekend and whatever else, and we don't have to worry too much, because if me and her can lose a decent amount of weight, I think we'll have it locked in. But other than that, it's neck and neck. For
how much weight have you lost total?
People keep asking me that. I know at my last job, I honestly want to say that I weighed upwards of 230, and that was probably the heaviest I've ever been in my life. But yeah, I want to say it was between 230, 240.
Right.
And I didn't really want to acknowledge it. I kept telling people, oh, I'm only 220. But no, because when I started this dieting thing, this is after working at my new job where I have been more physically active for months. Back in March is when I first got hired. Like I said, I was up at that height, but the dieting thing didn't start till, like I said, maybe a few months ago. And when I first weighed in, I was about 222. And now I am down to just over 200 pounds, or at least that was last week's weigh-in. So, yeah.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely happy. I feel better. I don't feel as exhausted just walking around and stuff. My knees don't feel as bad when I'm going up the stairs. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, do you ever celebrate with like a cheat day here and there?
Yeah, well, what I've done, because I have had cheat days as far as previous dieting programs and routines, but having a full day of cheat meals is kind of not my thing. I can't really do that anymore.
So you'll have like a cheat item.
So instead of a full cheat day, I do have still cheat meals, and I've actually been talking to people because I'm not sure what I want to do for my cheat meal once this thing is over. I'm still planning on sticking to my diet. I'm not just throwing everything out the window, mind you. But I've thought about either calling up Pizza Hut, getting a custom pizza, stuffed crust cheese, and everything to myself, or there's a place here in town that does this bacon wrapped burrito that has like a pound.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's got a pound of shrimp and a pound of steak, and plus all kinds of good fixes. Wait, is that
like that's great? Yeah.
Okay, I was like, I couldn't tell at first, but
it's like when somebody's like, "Oh, that's nasty," but it's nasty in a good way.
Okay, yeah, it's nasty in a good way. That when you see the video of it, it's at the Sonora Grill here in town, and it actually
Sonora
feeds.
Grill, sponsor us.
Yeah, dude, their taco, everything on their menu looks freaking phenomenal, and that's why I'm really wanting to go there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I still haven't decided yet. But I definitely want to have a celebratory cheat meal with, again, a big dinner and a big dessert afterwards, and like I said, then get back to my workout and probably.
You know what you should do for dessert?
What's that?
You should do a Pizookie.
No, Pizookies, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to pronounce it, folks.
Yeah, so, okay, let's talk about this really quick. There's a bit of a debate.
Right.
Is it Pizookie or Pizookie? I've always been on the side of Pizookie.
Yes.
Because it's a cookie, not a kookie.
Correct.
But then people say, well, look at how it's spelled. It looks like it says Pizookie. No. And I just don't buy it. And the other night, I was hanging out with some friends, and I have a friend who works at BJ's.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
I think I know this friend.
She's a hostess over there.
Oh, so like a ding-dong.
That's derogatory, Dylan. No.
Okay, she's a Twinkie then.
Is that any better? I don't know. But anyway,
Snowball.
She's a hostess over there. And she's always been on the side of Pizookie.
Mm-hmm.
But the other day, she told me that her manager was telling her how it's supposed to be pronounced.
Yep.
It's supposed to be Pizookie.
Pizookie.
I have won the battle.
You guys have been wrecked.
Heck,
by Luke.
I've won the war. It's been more than a battle. I've won the war.
I know, man. And I still don't get how people got it so confused. Like you said, they're called cookies, not cookies.
Yeah,
it's just
it was just an emotional response from them. They just said, "Well, that's what feels better to me," but it's not right.
Yeah,
so
this is coming from corporate essentially. You said the manager himself told her. Yeah. That's just cut and dry, folks. There is no more debate. All right, we've put it to rest. Pizookie.
So needless to say, I feel very validated and
Maybe-
satisfied.
Maybe that's what I could celebrate with, honestly, because I know they have right now a Pizookie that has, I think, Fruity Pebbles sprinkled on it. It looks pretty delicious.
Yeah.
Are you? You're not into that
There's
kind of
better
thing.
Pizookies out there, for me at least. I don't know.
Well, they do have their dessert trio where it's like you can get 3 different Pizookies, all with different ice cream and toppings and stuff. So that seems pretty interesting to me. But
BJ's,
who knows?
Sponsor us.
Yeah, always. I'll add them on those 40 pounds again. But yeah. So other than that, though, other things going on with me this week. I know I've talked about it in the past. I do play Pokemon Go. I was kind of excited, but at the same time disappointed. They had a water event going on this week for different water type Pokemon, and I was hunting and grinding. Like I was out for hours walking around trying to find these Pokemon, and I think I only found a Squirtle and a Barboach, which is I know you probably are
That's
just
terrible.
Yeah, there we go. I got some sympathy. But yeah, it was not fun. I was really hunting for a Carvana, which is a kind of like a piranha / shark evolution Pokemon.
Yeah.
And he looks really cool, but I was not lucky enough to find one. And I was really disappointed because, like I said, I was out there for hours on hours on hours and nothing. I felt like I was putting in a lot of my effort and just came up short.
That's a shame. I am the most photographed non-Pokemon Go player with Pokemon.
Yeah, sure. I'll support you the same way you supported me.
I don't play Pokemon Go, but nobody has more pictures with Pokemon Go characters than I do.
Yeah. I know you've been featured in a lot of my albums that I have on Facebook.
It's like, you get a picture with like an elephant when you go to the zoo. Mm-hmm. I do this whenever somebody's playing Pokemon Go. Anytime they're like, dude, there's a Pokemon over there. I'm like, where?
Right.
Tell me exactly
turn it into the
where.
live mode so I can get a photo with it.
And so I'm very proud to hold this title, most photographed non-Pokemon Go player ever with Pokemon.
Yeah, and I'll clap for that. You are applauded.
Thank you very much.
You know what else has been blown up my Facebook though? Since I was just talking about posting pictures on there, the Chick-fil-A versus Popeyes debate on who has the better sandwich.
People are going crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I've seen fist fight. No, I haven't seen fist fights.
Have you managed to get your hands on a Popeyes chicken sandwich yet?
I wanted to. There are, I think, 2 Popeyes on my way over to your house. I almost wanted to stop by, but I had a lot of things going on, so I wasn't really able to just wiggle it into my time. I was already running late for my parents' Labor Day barbecue and everything, and plus it was my sister's birthday, so hey, happy birthday, Lauren.
Wow, happy birthday, Lauren. Yeah, I haven't gotten a chance yet.
Yeah,
they're like sold out for a lot of a lot
of places sold out and everything, just like you said, and it's a difficult debate because I know I've had Chick-fil-A sandwiches. I know I've had Chick-fil-A tenders, and they're really great and delicious.
Yeah.
And I've had Popeyes before. I've done their like $5 fill-up boxes or whatever that they have. I know the fill-up boxes is KFC, but I've done whatever Popeyes equivalent is, and they've got good chicken and sauce and like whatever too. So I know that both places put out good quality chicken, good quality meat. But as far as comparing the sandwiches, I think that's something we definitely need to get more into, like you said, and hopefully we can swing by maybe if they get restocked later this week. Or
hey, we should do like an Instagram story about it.
Ooh, that would be good. A live video reaction.
Stay posted.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can make this happen and go over to Popeyes and try out their chicken sandwich. Yeah. I'll say this about Chick-fil-A. Mm-hmm. I normally just get the chicken nuggets. I just love chicken nuggets wherever they're from.
Yeah, they're always delicious.
However, one time I went to Chick-fil-A and decided, you know what? I'm going to get their chicken sandwich. Mm-hmm. It was the best chicken sandwich I've ever had.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's good. Super tender, super juicy, and it's not, because I know some places, whether you get nuggets or just breaded chicken in general, they can put too much on it to where it just encompasses the meat and you have to bite through an inch layer of breading before you actually taste the meat. Not with Chick-fil-A. I've never had that happen to me once, and it's always been good quality food.
Yeah, so. But this Popeye sandwich must be something, because have you seen the offers on eBay? People are selling Popeye's chicken sandwiches on eBay.
How?
Some of them are going for upwards of $1,000. No joke.
I don't get how that works, though. That's just so unsanitary. You don't know what someone did to that sandwich.
I have no idea. At this point, it's just like, oh, I want to be part of the experience, so they buy something on the internet. It's like, it was the whole thing with the whole Twinkies when they were saying, oh, the company's going under, there's going to be no more Twinkies, buy them now, everything, and people were frantically clearing off shelves and trying to do the same thing, and then, oh, go figure, someone bought the company out and Twinkies are still around. Yeah, it's like, guys, wait, a week from now, Popeyes is going to have plenty of chicken sandwiches.
Yeah, people, and that's one of the other debates going on, is them butting heads with each other, is Chick-fil-A being like, well, we don't really run out of chicken like you guys do, so. Yeah. But, hey, the shots fired both directions, so we'll see what happens with this whole Popeyes Chick-fil-A war. But
Isn't it fascinating though. I just can't believe it. At least it's good food though,
right? Because people will get into debates over stupid things. Not that this is necessarily anything big, but we're definitely open to trying out both sandwiches. So hey, if Chick-fil-A or Popeyes you want to sponsor us, and we'll do some plugs for you.
Sponsor us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
unless we're too chicken to do it.
Like I said, at least it's good food. It's not like airline food.
Oh gosh, man. Speaking of airline food, not that I've been flying recently, but jog a memory. We were passing one of the hospitals here recently, and it was a couple weeks back. Sarah pointed out to me as we were driving to your guys' house to have lunch and everything. She said, "Oh, look, they're going to put in a Panera Bread next to the hospital." And I just thought to myself, why are they putting a Panera Bread next to the hospital? I thought maybe she just misread the sign or something. I just didn't really believe her.
Yeah.
Go figure. They're actually putting a Panera next to a hospital. And so we both kind of laughed about it. And then I remember, I think it was either a tweet or a Tumblr post of some kind where it was somebody commenting on Panera and how it's basically expensive hospital food. And I thought to myself, I'm like, yeah, I like Panera, but I can definitely acknowledge that fact. Because
I've never been to Panera. What do they sell there? Like bread and stuff?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You've never once had Panera?
Never.
I'm leaving in the awkward silence for good reason. I can't believe that. I know your sister goes regularly. I've gone frequently enough. How have you not had Panera once?
Well, I don't. For me, the thing is, when I'm hungry, I'm like, I need to get some food. I don't want to eat just bread.
It's more than bread, dude. Here,
wait.
What?
Seriously?
Yeah, dude, they have soups, they have sandwiches, they have cookies. I mean, I know a lot of it has bread in it. What?
Are you serious?
It's a bakery, yes.
All it says is Panera Bread.
It's a bakery.
I thought it was like a step up from a grocery store.
No.
I mean, a step down? I don't know. Like, I thought it was just a bread shop.
No, they do have specialty breads, but they also specialize in making certain soups and stuff, and they actually have mac and cheese as well.
Really?
And
mac
I don't know.
And cheese.
Okay, let me ask you this real quick. How do you feel about sourdough bread? Do you like it?
It's good enough.
Good enough? Okay. They do this thing, if you ask for it, they will do a bread bowl stuffed with mac and cheese.
Ooh.
And
that does sound good.
Yeah, I in my fatter days, I'll be honest, I've devoured those things and then now they've even upgraded the mac and cheese. I think they have a barbecue mac and cheese and also one that has bacon bits in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bacon mac is one of the best things.
They have that now, dude. Just request a bread bowl with bacon mac and cheese and it's
okay, but how is this hospital food?
It just again, it doesn't taste bad, but it does have a distinct taste to it. Oh. And so it's just
I've never had hospital food.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't mind hospital food. I was in there. I'll get to that story later on at some point, maybe. But I've had hospital food before. I've had airline food before. I know that's like the big thing comedians like to complain about. Oh, the food sucks.
Yeah.
But I've eaten it and been, I'm fine. It tastes great. Like tastes fine in my book. But who knows? But yeah. So I think with that being said, wow. Okay, that's kind of funny. Sorry, I folks, I don't know if it's giving too much away, like you're seeing how the sausage is made backstage, but we have a sheet that we'll print out occasionally to kind of keep us on track with what we're going to talk about. And I looked down and I literally saw a line saying, "What's the deal with airline food?" I don't know how that got added into the notes.
Sounds like a Jerry Seinfeld line.
Yeah, literally. I'm pretty sure that's straight out of the book with Jerry Seinfeld. So
he's always saying, "What's the deal with?"
Yeah, I got thrown off by that because I'm just like, wait, that we're
Jerry
moving
Seinfeld,
on.
if you want to come on our show,
if
we'd be more than happy.
He's got the bank.
Welcome you.
Yeah. Oh, we can join his little car show where he talks to comedians or whatever.
Oh yeah, comedians in cars getting coffee. We can collaborate. So he can come on our podcast. Then he'll invite us in a fancy car.
Yep.
To go get some coffee.
Yeah. And then we'll just bring the mics in. We'll just hang one right in front of his face while he's driving. That'll be great.
Yeah. That could be a good show.
Seinfeld, you're hilarious. So
comedians in cars getting coffee on a podcast.
That would be difficult, but we'll make it happen.
Yes. Thanks, Jerry.
Yeah. All right. So I think that, unless, Luke, was there anything else that kind of went on with your week? I know I talked a lot about myself. I'm very conceited on this podcast, I'll admit.
No. I started school, and it was good. But that was about it. It took up my entire week. So.
School. It was. Yeah. Done. All right. Well, in that case, that being said, I guess we can now move on to the entertainment portion of the podcast. All right, so this week in our entertainment section, I would like to highlight 2 movies that recently got released. So if you haven't seen them by chance, I will, again, talk about the movie now. First one is The Hustle with Anne Hathaway and Rebel Wilson, I believe is her name. She's a comedic actor. They both are. Actress, my apologies. But this movie is about them being con artists and con women, and they're playing a bet against each other where they find one target and they say, oh, I bet I can get the money from him quicker than you can. And so they kind of compete against each other for the rich guy's money. And it's definitely a funny comedy movie. If you obviously this is a comedy movie, it'll be funny. And it's got Anne Hathaway, Rebel Wilson, like I said, they both do their parts to make it hilarious and enjoyable for everyone involved and people watching.
Who wins?
Yeah, I'm not going to give a spoiler away to a movie that was recently released.
Worth a try. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, I'm good with these things. I like to stay vague and stick with what the trailers show, unless we're doing a deep dive like we did with Avengers, and we'll do more of those in the future.
Yeah.
Other movie that got released recently was Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Woo! I liked that one.
Yes, I know. Me and John discussed it. I think on one of the earlier episodes, it was either episode 1 or 2. I believe 2. I think
you and John.
Us, whoever.
Are you kidding me?
What?
It was you and me in the first episode.
Did we?
Yeah.
Okay, well, again...
Guys, he forgot about me.
I'd never forget about you, Luke.
Yeah, you did.
You haunt my nightmares. How can I forget?
You forgot about me just now. Do you realize episode 1
Who are you?
Do you realize episode 1 was our most listened to podcast?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
With 10 views.
Yeah, it had like 10 views on YouTube and like another 10 on Spotify. Woo!
Hey, I'll take it, man.
I know.
We're making progress.
Yeah.
Well, once we get the word out enough and then we start getting these, big name celebrities that'll just come out of nowhere to support us, Chris Pratt especially, if he wants to come on. I know he's actually made trips to this town before, now that I mentioned it.
Moreno Valley?
He's made trips to Moreno Valley. He did a video out in Lake Paris.
Dude, Chris, come on now.
Yeah, he was so close.
Dude, just come out here.
Just have your people contact me or through us on Facebook or Instagram, whichever one of the social media platforms you see, and just love on us. We love you. You're a very adorable man. We would love to talk to you.
Come on, Chris. You're a good Christian guy. We're good Christian guys.
Yeah.
Just link up with us.
We'll be some buddies together.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Godzilla, getting back to that. If I'll give a brief... No, you know what? I don't even want to give this review because I don't want to, like we just talked about, I don't want to spoil anything. Still worth your time. Still a good movie to pick up if you can't afford it. Just do a Redbox rental or whatever. But yeah, very entertaining. I'm really looking forward to where Godzilla versus King Kong goes after this movie because I know that's where the directors are lining up in the sequel.
Yeah, it's like the Avengers of the Monsterverse.
Yeah, they're putting it together. Instead of a Marvel Cinematic Universe, they're doing a Monster Cinematic Universe. Is what's going on here.
It's exciting.
I know. I'm wanting them. I don't know where they'll go after Godzilla versus King Kong.
El Chupacabra. They'll just make him super big. He's still growing.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you have to do is add in that one line, and you're fine. But anyway, and this is just me being biased because I love reptiles. I really hope Godzilla wins this fight, but who knows? They'll probably pull out a whole save Mothra kind of not debate, but discussion. And then, why'd you say that name?
Dude, I just had a great idea.
What?
A cryptid verse.
Dude.
Cryptids, the little like like El Chupacabra.
Imagine.
Imagine they start making movies like that. One about Chupacabra, one about Loch Ness Monster, another about Bigfoot, and then at the end they make another movie where they all come together and fight against each other.
Dude, that'd be awesome. Because you know me, I've talked about the Myths and Legends podcast with Jason and Chris Weiser. You guys are awesome. They do really good deep dives into creatures after their stories. So Jason will put together a story talking about either a Greek mythological story or say what's the word I'm looking for? Like King Arthur tales and stuff like that, like knights, all kinds of fairy tales, whatever else. They'll put stories together, and he kind of sums it up and puts it in a more modern perspective. And so he makes it really funny, really enjoyable for the listeners. And then afterward, they'll go into a segment called Creature of the Week, and they find all kinds of weird cryptids that you don't really hear of. And he'll go into describing like monsters, how to deal with them if you ever encounter them. And there have been some weird ones, like ones that literally have eyes in their butts. Like there are creatures all over different cultures and different places and whatnot. They're weird.
What was the name of that snail? That giant? It's like a 7-foot snail.
7-foot snail. That one's. I mean, he might have covered it.
It's not, like Gordy or something like that. You just like toss salt on him, and that's
Gordy the snail. That just sounds. I mean, I know most of cryptids are, but that just sounds made up as heck.
Gordy the snail. You toss salt on. We should make Gordy the snail our mascot.
See, and then in our monster universe, we can have Gordy fight Clifford to see who will be the more massive monster.
Gordy the 7-foot snail.
Oh gosh,
man, horrifying.
I don't think I've ever heard of that one, but that does sound horrifying, especially with you think of like a snail and they got their little eye antennas. Just that'd be weird. But yeah,
if we can get 15 listens to this podcast on Spotify, then we will make Gordy the snail our official Some Things mascot.
You know, the other thing, Luke, you're talking about Spotify. I believe you told me we actually did get added onto Apple Podcasts as well, right?
Yes. If you're an Apple fan, you guys are higher class than me. If you're an Apple fan, you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts now. And if you do, if I can ask a favor of you, give us a nice juicy rating if you like what you're hearing, because that'll help us to get more and more followers.
Yeah, we got that's, and it is true because I know a lot of people still, even with podcasts I've heard that are already popular, and they would still ask people, again, if you leave them a good like a 5-star, 4-star review on iTunes, that will boost numbers drastically because it starts getting you on top charts of like new release podcast, what's entertaining, whatever else.
Yeah.
And you get noticed, and not so it wouldn't just be say close circles of friends, which we do appreciate you guys. We love you, and we do appreciate the support. Again, you coming up to us every week and giving us the catchphrase or just saying, "Oh, I really enjoyed this topic or that discussion."
It's awesome. Our little hearts.
Yeah, mine's not so little. It's still chunky, but
chunky heart.
But no. So yeah, again, if you do leave those reviews, it would greatly help us out, and we would greatly appreciate it. So if you happen to give it a chance, if not, that's cool too. I'm still going to continue to do this.
Do it for
Gordy. Break Gordy's little heart.
How many hearts do snails have? It's like 3 of them, right?
It seems like a Guinness World Record. Somebody dissects a snail and then we count up the hearts. But yeah. So on a more downer of a note, I was a little bummed out to read this, but Gordon Bresic, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He was the creator of Animaniacs, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and excuse me, Pinky and the Brain. He died earlier this week.
Oh man!
So it was definitely a blood of my childhood. I grew up watching those shows on WB and everything. Me and my brother, we'd Saturday morning cartoons, like that was tradition. Pinky and the Brain, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles especially. We loved that cartoon. And seeing the article that came out about us passing, I don't remember the exact details of what happened, but I want to say he died at like 60, 66 or something like that. So he's still fairly young. I mean, in the grand perspective of things, but yeah, it sucked to see that he did pass away.
Yeah, that's tough. And then more sort of sad news. I guess we'll just get it all out of the way. Did you hear about Kevin Hart?
Oh yeah, he got in a car wreck.
Car accident. Yeah, so he's in the hospital at the moment. From what I heard, he had some back issues.
Oh gosh, I hope it's nothing too serious. I know they did talk about he is obviously recovering. Like I think he's in a somewhat stable position. He's not like in any critical danger, potential loss of life, anything like that.
Yeah.
Thank God. But yeah, so definitely keeping him in prayers too, because that seeing the photos from the wreck was really bad. So again, just praying for him and anyone else that was involved. Get well soon, Kevin.
Yeah, those are always scary.
Yeah, I've never. I don't think I've ever been in a car wreck, so it's definitely something I don't want to experience, and I want to keep it that way. But yeah, to those who have, it's nervous. Or not just nervous. It's
nerve wracking.
Nerve wracking. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. But yeah, so like we said, keeping him in our thoughts and everything. Want him to get well soon. And then not to just quickly brush over those things, because again, they are important and we do care about these people.
I need to pick me up now.
Need to pick me up. All right. Well, I'll give you one, Luke. I did actually see Angel Has Fallen this weekend.
Ooh.
And if you're unaware of what that movie is, it's the third. I almost said thirquel. It's a
thirquel.
The trilogy movie of the Olympus Has Fallen trilogy or movies. I'm lost here. I'm sorry. We're recording this at night, folks. I'm a little tired.
Yeah, this is the one with Morgan Freeman, right?
Yes, Morgan Freeman as the
poor guy,
El Presidente,
he keeps getting attacked.
Yeah, and Gerard Butler. And he's still looking pretty sketchy there for his age and everything. But no,
I got my eyes on Morgan Freeman. Thank you very much.
Like that chocolate. But
it's the richness of his voice.
Yeah, he's an awesome actor too. But yeah, so I'll be honest, I saw the first one, loved it. That was Olympus Has Fallen. I know they had London Has Fallen. I never saw that movie in particular, but then I saw the trailers for this one, and I'll be honest, I was kind of on the fence. It looks a little silly. It looks like they're kind of just pushing too much. Like they just should have let the franchise die.
Yeah.
But no, I was greatly pleased with this movie. I wouldn't say it was better than Blinded by the Light by any means. I know that's comparing apples to oranges in those two respects, because it's an action movie versus a kind of a drama, not necessarily musical, but a drama with music involved.
Yeah.
But yeah, so seeing this movie it definitely exceeded my expectations. And there were a couple of key characters that actually surprised me and I don't want to say stole the show, but they definitely won me over throughout the movie. And I would definitely say the action's well worth your time and effort and your money. Plot was still pretty good. It could be a little predictable at times with certain aspects. Again, not going into what details those are, but yeah. So there was all that going on. But the action was great. The fighting was great, and even the actors themselves coming through in certain moments where it was more serious or more funny. They did their jobs pretty well. Yeah, Morgan Freeman and Gerard Butler, still awesome actors. So
cool.
I definitely recommend checking it out. And I still haven't got that criteria. I'm sorry, folks. I gotta be more organized with this stuff.
Well,
but at least I knew the actors' names this time.
How about this? Without spoiling anything, does he die?
No comment. That's literally a spoiler. How would I just answer that one? Yeah.
Well, just answer it without spoiling anything. Nice.
And there we go.
That was a nice answer.
Yes, you're welcome.
If we're talking about like spoilers and stuff that's pointing ahead, I'm excited for something.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna talk about Star Wars again. Oh my goodness! So at the D23 Expo,
yeah,
Star Wars, they released a new trailer for the Rise of Skywalker. For the Rise of Skywalker. Oh my goodness! This grabbed my attention again. When the first trailer came out, I thought, it was great, but it was right when Endgame was coming out.
Right,
so we were a little bit focused on one thing at a time right now.
Yeah, we had more things to focus with.
But now I get to look forward to Star Wars. And man, was this a good trailer. We see, the biggest thing. Did you see the trailer yet?
I know you asked me to watch it before the podcast started, but I did not get a chance to. I'm sorry.
Dylan, I'm going to spoil the trailer for you.
That's fine. I can watch a trailer again. That's...
Oh my goodness. So we see lots more. There's obviously some conflict between Rey and Kylo Ren. At the end of the last movie, it was like they almost had a difference of opinion on who should be like...
Who should convert to what side?
Yeah, and who should be leading the army. It was like Kylo Ren wasn't exactly evil. He just kind of wanted to take over in power.
Right.
And Rey was like, I don't want to do that, so they kind of split ways. And then Kylo Ren just kind of went crazy.
That was after he killed Emperor Stonks.
Emperor Stonks?
Stonks.
Emperor Stonks got killed by a sty whacker.
There we go.
Oh my goodness, this is getting outrageous.
Stonk whacker.
But anyway, yeah, so you can tell that this has been going in the same direction. There's a lot more conflict between the two of them.
Right.
There's a cool scene of them fighting on the crashed Death Star, the old Death Star. So out in the middle of the ocean, it's just the two of them fighting.
Nice.
So it's looking like it's going to be good. You see Rey doing some force tosses with her lightsaber, like a boomerang, you know?
Oh, yeah, so she throws it and comes up.
Yeah, so like cuts down a couple of trees with it and catches it. So she's getting trained up really well.
Right.
And then here's the kicker. Here's what shocked everybody.
Right.
There's a scene with Rey wearing a black cloak. She ignites her lightsaber. 2 parallel red blades come up.
Oh,
kind of like sparky, like Kylo Ren's blade. So 2 of them parallel pop up, and then it zooms out a little bit, and it unfolds to create a double-sided lightsaber.
What the heck?
She's holding a red double-sided lightsaber. We have no idea what this means. The most popular theory, I don't know if I buy this yet. The most popular theory is that Rey is one of several clones. And they say that because remember that scene in The Last Jedi?
Okay.
Where she goes down into that hole and she's looking into this like mirror thing and she's saying like a bunch of her.
Yeah, and there's like a line of them snapping their fingers and stuff.
Yeah, so they say that's just foreshadowing to the fact that she is one of at least one clone. You know? So they're saying this is another clone.
Okay.
Who is either evil or possessed by Emperor Palpatine. And that would be interesting.
Well, yeah, and I know we complained about it The Last Jedi on one of our other podcasts, and how you talked about how they had the whole reveal of, oh, Rey, you have no parents kind of thing.
Yeah.
This could actually go back and essentially kind of retcon and justify that then.
That's true.
If she is a clone, that would make sense for her to not really have parents per se. She just was created in the lab and somehow was able to use the Force.
Yeah, if that is the case, credit to J.J. Abrams. Ryan Johnson was not going in that direction. J.J. Abrams is the one who I think is going to save this and make it a decent movie.
Yeah, because if that happens, then like I just said, it could save and justify actions that were taken in The Last Jedi.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ryan Johnson. I know you're a creative guy. I don't want to put you down too much, but
you blasted the man. I mean, let's be honest here, but
sorry, dude.
Well, here's my thing though, because I did see those freeze images or whatever. Because I didn't watch the trailer.
Yeah.
I would just hope that they don't try to make it some stupid dream sequence of just.
I hope not.
Like I hate those in movies where it's like they'll show it in a trailer and tease you like, oh, it's this major. Oh, it's fake. It might as well not have happened.
Ooh, and I forgot the biggest part of the entire thing. C-3PO with red eyes.
What now?
Yeah. There's a scene of him like walking forward and he's got red eyes. So I don't know if it's like an evil C-3PO kind of a thing going on, but it's shocking. Evil C-3PO, evil Rey. So I don't know what they have in store for us.
Maybe
but
he got possessed by the Emperor.
Yeah. Oh my god, that would be lame.
Just sets himself up in this bad body like, I will take over again.
Oh man, I'm excited though.
Yeah. And because I don't know if I mentioned this before. I am still a little on the fence as far as being super hyped up for the Star Wars movies because I think I lean more towards Marvel. Not that I hate Star Wars. I do love the franchise, but I had considered not even seeing this movie opening weekend. But hear me out. After these trailers have been coming out and stuff, my slowly but surely my interest is slowly peaking again.
This is the last of the series.
I know.
You have to watch it opening weekend.
Look, I'm not saying I won't see it in theaters. I'm definitely going to do that.
It's got to be opening weekend. You got to dress up.
I ain't dressing up.
I don't know. I might dress up.
We'll have to see, because I know we've talked about that before, and it still keeps following through. Yeah. I'm the only one who ever cosplays, man. I go to anime conventions, and nobody wants to join me.
Nobody dressed up at an anime convention?
Well, I'm just saying as far as my group of friends.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't want to point fingers, but, I still love them. But, it'd be nice if every once in a while people would, just do my bidding. Yeah. So, other than that, I kind of have a complaint that I want to bring to the table. And this is still relevant to the entertainment portion of our podcast.
Yeah.
How do you feel about movies, like theatrical releases, that are under an hour and a half long?
I don't normally see them. They're normally like children's movies.
Well, I mean, not all the time.
When was the last time they had an adult movie
47 meters down,
bad.
uncaged.
Not an adult movie.
Yeah, nope. We do not sponsor us on this.
Yeah. Like a PG-13 movie.
I just said 47 meters down, uncaged. The second one.
Okay, that's not helping though.
How's it not helping? You said a PG-13 movie
my point is like it's a movie I wouldn't watch.
Okay, well, even if that's not one you would watch, there are movies that come out to theaters that are under an hour and a half long. And there have even been some big name movies with big name actors. Granted, I know it doesn't really help my case. I can't cite anything else off the top of my head, but they do happen. And honestly, in my opinion, that's a twofold problem, right? So if the movie is not going to be over an hour and a half long, I don't think it should be a movie. Like, it shouldn't come out to theaters. It should just either be a straight to DVD release, or it should be a TV movie or something, a TV special.
Yeah.
And the other thing what annoys me too is if I see a movie, and I'm not saying that they're always bad, I like getting more bang for my buck. So I want my movies to at least be over an hour and a half long. And if they're 2 hours, that's awesome.
That's very rational.
As long as it's a good, entertaining movie, and I'm not sitting there bored out of my mind for the 2 hours, which most of the times I'm not. It's been very rare where I've gone in, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this movie is bad, it's terrible, and just tear apart the plot, everything else involved. But what I don't get is when these hour and a half long movies come out on DVD. I go to digital copies now, I guess. DVDs kind of fade now, but Blu-ray, digital copy, whatever you want to get. When they come out, you buy them, and then they'll have deleted scenes.
Yeah, why did they delete them?
Yeah, it's you're cutting out these scenes, and you could have made your movie again hit that 1.5 hour mark, but I don't know.
They probably just ran out of money.
I guess that somewhat justifies it, but it's just...
That doesn't help the movie, though. It doesn't. It's probably going to be bad.
Yeah, I just don't get... It's 5 extra minutes would have gotten you over that mark. Just put it in there.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and agree with you on this one. If it's not an hour and a half, just leave it alone. It could be a TV special, but it doesn't need to be a movie released in theaters.
Yeah, it's just... I don't get it. It's weird to me, and I don't like it. I don't understand it, so I hate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's just one of my other complaints. I know I talked about actor bait in one of the other podcasts. But, all that being said, Luke, I think you have something you want to show the world right now. And blow our minds.
Should we move on to sports?
I think we should move on to sports.
Let's do it. Sports. I'm digging this, Dylan.
Oh, yeah.
We have a new sports intro. Woo! That's exciting.
Yes, it is. It's got that boom, bang, boom, kind of beat and feel that you want.
Yeah.
Oh, that was awesome.
Now we don't have to have you singing it anymore.
Aw.
I know.
I thought you liked me.
You can sing along to it if you want, but I think this is an upgrade.
Yeah, and who knows? We have talked about. We're not sure, but we'll maybe try to get something for the entertainment portion of the podcast.
What's wrong with that?
I don't know. I have to do that every week. just get me on a recording of that. The entertainment. Yeah, it's just the same fluctuation every week.
We should just record segments of our podcast so we just press buttons and not have to ever say anything to each other.
Yeah, we have the soundboard and we just have auto replies to someone else's comment, just That
would be interesting. What if we?
No, I don't like that. No.
What if we did that? You know how people have text conversations like that? Mm-hmm. We should do a podcast like that, or a segment like that, and just see how it goes.
That'd be terrible. I mean, as long as we're still here live to actually answer the questions, but yeah, we'll see if we can work something out. But yeah, so transitioning into sports after that funky intro there, that was awesome.
Funky.
Oh,
that was rock, man.
Well, either way, it was funky in a good way, but rocked in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Look, it's not jazz music. I'm not saying it's jazz. I'm just saying it was a good beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. All right. So, all that aside, yeah, now on the table, we have updates for Melvin Gordon and Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott. So, I don't know if you heard, Luke, there was talks and a lot of speculation going on that this weekend Ezekiel Elliott would have signed and they were going to come to some sort of agreement between him and the Cowboys, his manager, and everything seemed that there was going to be some compromise between the two contract negotiators and how much money was going to get paid out, that he would play for the team, all the bells and whistles, whatever, that were part of this negotiation. And lo and behold, there was no compromise. Zeke is still pushing to be paid higher than Todd Gurley is because he thinks he's the number one running back in the NFL, and he doesn't want anything less than being the highest paid. And I know I read, I think, a Twitter post from one of the other sports commentators talking about how, again, now the Cowboys franchise or organization is frustrated with how much they felt that they were kind of led on by Zeke and his manager, thinking that they were going to come to some agreement this weekend before literally not playoffs, but regular season is about to start this week. Again, we don't know when this podcast will be released, when it'll be uploaded, but it's going to start soon within the next few days. We have their first opening night Thursday with the Bears and Packers, which hopefully we'll be able to talk about that too, because I love that divisional rivalry, and it's been around since NFL existed.
That was the first Super Bowl, right?
No. It's like, wait, what? No. But anyway, so he's still holding out. They were disappointed in it. They're frustrated. I don't see this thing coming to an end anytime soon, and it sucks for the Cowboys fans who, again, they do want him as a running back. He's a good player, but a lot of them, too, what I'm seeing on these feeds, these posts, these comments, people are getting sick and tired of Zeke already. He's starting to lose a fan base because he's acting this way and wanting to be the highest paid running back. And like I talked about last week, I believe, other commentators have already said they don't think any running back in this league, in this day and age, needs to be paid as much money as, say, a quarterback or a wide receiver. They're not necessarily a top position. And granted, in fantasy, they will get you a lot of points, but you have a good enough O-line, anyone's going to do well behind it.
Yeah, and so we're not paying people for fantasy football here.
Yeah, and there are tons and tons and tons of people who are on roster charts, depth charts for different teams, even aside from these two with the Chargers and Cowboys, that can step up into those holes, into those positions, and you can find running backs anywhere pretty much. There's a plethora of them out there. So if your star goes out or he wants to throw a fit like this, I'm not getting enough money, you can find somebody else to replace him. And whether he likes it or not, whether he wants to admit it. And it's weird too, because I know I talked and I justified Le'Veon Bell doing his holdout thing, but again, Pittsburgh Steelers, they cut him loose because they found Connor. So in the vein of thought that I'm going through, you can find someone to replace a good running back. Like, you think you're all that until you get put on the wrong team, and then you start getting injured a lot more because you don't have an O-line to protect you, and you can't break through 5 tackles at the line of scrimmage. So I don't know. Cowboys fans, hopefully the best comes. If you guys can still get him, that's great. But if not, I'd be prepared to move on at this point, because they just keep butting heads left and right, and they're not coming to any sort of, like I said, middle ground. There is no negotiation. He won't settle for anything less, and Jerry Jones has already said he's not willing to pay out the money. So,
there was some reporter who really jumped the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday morning, there was a guy who released an article saying Zeke and the Cowboys have come to a deal. He's going to play game 1.
Yeah.
And then like the next day, it's like, nope, no, we didn't.
Yeah, that's why I always like to see, whether it's on my Facebook feed or even on a Google search, would show us if there's multiple reports from multiple people and it's starting to seem more credible, then yeah. But I know there are fake news sites out there that'll post wrong things. But again, that's what I've seen is posts going out saying how frustrated they are with, again, the fact that these negotiations have not already come to an end. And like I said, the regular season's right around the corner. So, and they already signed Alfred Morris. They brought him back. So I think that's a move by Jerry Jones saying, I don't think we need you, and I don't care that you want to get paid all this amount of money.
Yeah.
If you want to be a crybaby and act like that, then we'll move on without you. We'll find a way to win.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen, because their rookie running back as well, they've been comparing him to Alvin Kamara. So if this guy is as good as they're saying he is, Ezekiel Elliott might be playing with a different team.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happened with the Saints. They got rid of, was it Ingram? He went to the Baltimore Ravens.
Yes.
So yeah, Ingram left, and not that he was a bad running back. I mean, he did help out. The way I saw it was Kamara was this kind of trickster running back to where he could do multiple things. Ingram was that guy who would just run through people. Like, he was a power back, and he had no problem shaking 2 or 3 tackles to get to the end zone, just because he was that strong.
Yeah.
So each their own. They have different ways of playing, different ways of running, and this isn't anything to discredit Ezekiel Elliott. He is a good running back. People know that, who play fantasy, who watch football. But he's just got to work things out on his own end, because you say you want to be a Cowboy, but then you have no problem saying at the same time, I'm willing to be traded, or I'm willing to go with another team if need be. And if the Cowboys, the most expensive franchise in any sports history, with I think a net worth of like $5 billion, if they're not willing to pay him all this money, who's he going to get it from? Really?
Yeah, that's true. It's going to be someone who's desperate.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I don't know who even needs him that badly.
Right.
So I don't know. And then we've got, we're Charger fans.
Yeah, so we're
going through the same thing with Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, so again, we like I said, folks, we don't want to be biased in any way, shape, or form. I know we're Charger fans, but I don't sit here and just talk crap on the Raiders or the Chiefs or the Broncos just because they're in our division and they suck. I don't do anything like that. I'm trying to answer honestly or discuss honestly stats and facts about the teams and how they're playing. And as it's right now, like I said, regular season around the corner. As far as Gordon stands, the Chargers organization has made a statement. They are tabling any negotiations with him until the end of the season.
Yeah.
So he was supposed to make, I think, close to $6 million this season per his contract, and they're tabling any negotiations since they're kind of unwilling to kind of see the same side. And from what I've seen, I don't think Gordon's going to play. There's speculation because he sent out a post on Instagram saying, "If you don't pay, I don't play," something to that effect.
Yeah.
And I don't know necessarily if it is specifically speaking to this, and the reason why I say that is because if you look at his Instagram post, it had a picture of a female, I believe, I'm going to assume a female athlete. I don't know her off the top of my head. I don't know if it had anything to do with, say, like an equal rights pay between men and women. I know that's been a big topic between soccer players. The women's soccer team for America has done a lot more, accomplished a lot more than the men's team has, and they get paid a lot less. And I'm not trying to dive into all that, but I'm not sure if that's what his post was hinting at as far as just equality pay, something to that effect. But if not, then it could be a clear indicator that he's trying to leave the team. And the Chargers did give him this alternative too, because the organization, Phillip Rivers, whoever else, people have talked about, he's a good asset to our team. We want him to play with us. But if not, then that sucks, and we got to just do our best to move on without him. And that's not them discrediting him or hitting him in any way. They're just saying, well, if he's not going to play, we can't just sit here and keep begging him every week after week after week. We have to be ready to play our season, whether he's injured, not signing with us, whatever else. You know, they have to be prepared. Any football team has to. You can't rely on one player to get you through the regular season and plus playoffs, and especially if they're not committed to the team.
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of a slap in the face, I feel like, to us. It's the Chargers. We don't have a very big.
Yeah,
we don't have a lot to spend.
No,
but they did offer him $10 million.
Yeah, well,
which is pretty good.
Yeah, and
that's $10 million per season, which is good for a running back. That's like top 10 still.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's quite top 5.
No, I don't think it is either. But
it's up there, and especially if it's like your second deal, you still have time to make it happen. You just go for a shorter contract.
Yeah, and
but to reject that is kind of to say, look, you guys can't pay me, and I don't really care. I'll move on.
Yeah.
And to the rest of us, it's like, well, sheesh, man. You don't care about this team at all, do you?
Yeah, and it sucks too, because I know even I don't know if I talked about this previously, but it kind of sucks to see happen because he did seem like he was fitting in. It was like a football family. I mean, you don't really see a lot of people. I mean, granted, I know Bosa did hold out when we signed him his rookie year. He wanted more money, and we paid him. But he's been worth it. And I'm not saying that Gordon hasn't. That he's not worth getting paid a little bit more. But yeah, like you said, he was offered, I think, $10 million per season, and I believe that's even what they said in the reports I've seen, is that he wanted something in that ballpark. But apparently that still wasn't enough for him per year, per season, whatever you want to call it. And so the Chargers organization, they have also said, look, if you don't want to play with us, like, we're tabling negotiations with you till the end of the season. Like, we're not talking about it. We're not bringing it up again, because they've tried multiple times to reach out to him, try to negotiate something, not working. And they offered him, look, if you want to seek a trade deal with another team, we'll be open to hearing out what the trade deal would be.
Yeah.
And so,
and honestly, I'm kind of excited for those possibilities. Like you said, running back is not the most important position in real life.
Right.
On your fantasy team, it's huge.
Right.
But in real life, it's not gonna do much for you.
Yeah.
So I'm open to the idea of getting maybe as many as a couple first round picks in exchange for Gordon. That could be great.
Yeah, that'd be beneficial to us, because then again, we would have essentially well, depending on what team he goes to, because if they place late in the rounds or late in the draft next year, or the year after that, then that means we're going to still have late round picks.
That's true.
But if they try to offer us, say, another running back or like several players for the one, however it's going to work out, you never know how it'll play out. Or I know even the Texans have been making a lot of moves lately with acquiring. I believe they got Kenny Stills from the Dolphins as a wide receiver. They got some defensive players from other teams. I forget the names off the top of my head. But, people can make moves for, say, only trading one or two people, but then they get a lot in return, So it's, like you said, there is an open prospect there to, who knows what we can get for him. And that's if worst comes to worst. Primarily we would want him to just sign with the Chargers and stick with us.
Yeah.
We like him as an asset. We like him as a running back. But what I was going to say is, as far as him fitting into the family and stuff, I thought he was kind of already at that point to where he would want to stay just based off of, say, loyalty reasons. Because
it sounded like it at the end of last season.
Yeah, and seeing him go into playoffs, I remember seeing this Facebook viral video that was going around where he was in the back of a taxi, and this is before they played Baltimore, and so he was talking to the taxi driver, and the taxi driver didn't realize he had Melvin Gordon's back seat, and so they were discussing the upcoming Baltimore Chargers playoff game, in Baltimore. And he's like, the driver's sitting there talking all kinds of crap, like, oh, the Chargers ain't nothing, Baltimore's gonna handle them, all this stuff. And so Gordon, he's sitting there laughing in the back seat and just cracking jokes. He's like, no, I don't know, like that Melvin Gordon, he's pretty good, because again, the guy didn't realize who he was talking to, and so it was this whole funny thing where he's like he's sitting there for the team, not like necessarily getting into a debate or a heated argument for their behalf, but he was having fun with it, and just in the sense of like, oh no, the Chargers are walking out of Baltimore with a W, and it was fun to see, and kind of that attitude. And I love how Melvin Ingram now has adopted the phrase ASAP, any squad, any place. I can't tell you enough how it gets me excited to see our defense play. And I know we did lose Derwin James, but still, man, that squad, we added in Thomas Davis from the Panthers, and I love him. So it's just like that mentality, that Bolt gang, just you want to get in there and have your team just be as good as it can be, and they're committed to the franchise. They're committed to making this team great. Gordon seems to have just kind of backslid on all that, though, which is saddening.
It is saddening. But I'll tell you what, I have a lot of respect for the way the Chargers are handling this and the way Jerry Jones is handling this. Mm-hmm. Jerry Jones, he was not trying to flex at all.
Right.
He made a statement. He said, I don't negotiate with players, which sounds a little scary. No. It sounds like it. Yeah, he thinks he's better than them. But he says, I don't negotiate with players. I tell them where I stand. I give them as much information as they need so that they can make their own decision. I think that's respectable.
Right.
Not wanting to budge is fine, especially as an owner. He's the one who gets to make the final call. So when he said that about Ezekiel Elliott, I had a lot of respect for him. And the Chargers are similar. It's saying, look, we've made our offer. We're going to stay here. Feel free to look around, but this is where we stand.
Yeah. And again, that's completely understandable with any organization, whether you have unlimited funds, not a lot. You gotta do what's best for you and your team. You can't be willing to spend all these millions of dollars on one player and then the rest of your team suffers because, one, they're either not getting paid for what they deserve, or two, you don't have enough money to pay people to play those positions well. It's just somewhere else is going to suffer because you have to move all that budget to one person. Yeah. So,
man. Let's move on from the running back position.
Yeah.
How about this? I've got a set of quarterback tiers.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this should be interesting.
Well, hold on real quick. Before we get into that, should we cover the fact, I did talk about the Miami Dolphins. They have named their starting quarterback, and that is Ryan Fitzpatrick. Yeah, so if you don't know, last season he was kind of in a back and forth battle with Jameis Winston on the Buccaneers to see who would be the starting quarterback, and they both kind of put up good numbers and good arguments for which case, but then they also had their bad games that didn't perform too well.
Oh my goodness.
So
there were some major flops.
Yeah, just inconsistencies left and right. I don't know. How do you feel about that with the Dolphins moving forward with him? Because
I say good for Fitzpatrick. Here's my take on Fitzpatrick, though. Mm-hmm. He does well when he doesn't have anything to lose.
Right.
When he's trying to secure the job of quarterback, oh my goodness, he's good. He's throwing like 400 yards and 4 touchdowns every week.
Right.
But then once he gets the job and it's his to lose,
He just.
Oh my goodness, he'll throw 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
He's the most polarized quarterback I've ever seen. So I hope it works out for him. But if I had to guess, I think he's going to flop really bad.
Well, yeah, and I would kind of agree with you, or not kind of, I would agree with you because I'm sitting here looking at the roster moves that the Dolphins have made. They got rid of Landry to the Browns, and they got rid of Stills to the Houston Texans. Who the heck is he going to throw to? Like, who else is on their team that's a big name receiver that I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. And maybe that's me just not doing my research, but it's just at the same time, I don't know what's going to happen there.
That's true.
Who do they have for a running back? They got rid of they got rid of Kiko Alonso. He's now with the Saints as far as their defense.
They have Kenyon Drake as their running
Drake.
back.
Yeah,
he's not bad.
He does well enough, but that's still only one running back position. That's not really anyone to throw to every down.
Yeah,
but who knows? I'm not saying you guys will have a bad season, but it's not looking good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now, sorry to cut you off and interrupt.
No problem,
yeah. We'll transition to your QB tiers.
Yeah, so let's get into this. So at the top section, we have the elite quarterbacks.
And just to clarify, folks, if it wasn't said earlier, this is a post we saw, or Luke saw.
On Facebook, yeah.
Yeah, on Facebook. So he's this isn't his personal belief, and we'll get into this later.
Oh my goodness, is it bold? I am excited to get into this. So at the elite quarterback level.
Top tier.
Yeah, so we have Tom Brady, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Drew Brees, Russell Wilson, Ben Roethlisberger, Matt Ryan, and Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. And
what do you think of that so far? Roethlisberger and Matt Ryan, I don't know if I would call them elite.
Roethlisberger and Matt Ryan, I think I would probably put... here's the thing is I don't know who's on the rest of the tier systems and stuff. But yeah, I definitely would not put them elite. Roethlisberger was throwing a lot of interceptions last season, and Matt Ryan, for him to have Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones, and even their tight end has done pretty well too. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's got a lot of people in that receiving core to throw to, and I don't think granted, he did. What did he come in third place as far as yards for passing?
He might have, yeah.
He's
always up there for yards.
Yards, he's great, but. Again, when you compare fantasy stats and stuff like that,
It's his touchdown to interception ratio that's not so great.
That didn't do too well, and I know their team suffered on defense, but even still, you should be making plays on offense, man. That needs to be a core factor, and I hope he does well. I was rooting for him in the Super Bowl they had a couple of years back, but he's got to step it up to get back to that MVP caliber level, in my opinion. I would not, like you said, I would not put him in the elite category as of now.
Yeah, I think those guys are kind of second tier. Because everybody else I think is good, though. Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Russell Wilson, and Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. I think they missed one. And in all fairness, he did just retire. But Andrew Luck, I think should have been in that elite category.
Definitely.
Here, they put him second tier in this post. Derek Carr, second tier. No way.
Sorry, Raider fans. I'm not being biased. Just no.
Dak Prescott, second tier.
No. He had too many fumbles.
Yeah. Matthew Stafford. Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe third tier. I don't know about second.
Then we got Cam Newton. I'll agree with that.
Cam Newton has potential.
Cam Newton, second tier.
Okay.
Phillip Rivers, also second tier.
Yeah.
I agree with that. And then, of course, Andrew Luck, they put at second tier.
Yeah, Andrew Luck, no. Considering he missed, 3 or 4 games last season with an injury, came back and almost...
Whenever he was healthy, he was as good as anybody else.
He put on a clinic, man. He was able to take the team that should have, essentially lost the division and came back to go deep into the playoffs and had great numbers to back it up. So he was on fire, even for having an injured season last year.
So here's where it gets spicy. This next tier, they called it Fake Elite. I like the title. So you've got Eli Manning. And you know what? Now that I'm looking at this might be a little bit old. Because I'm noticing that Patrick Mahomes is not on here. Yeah. Patrick Mahomes should have been in the elite level. It's only been one season.
If they have Derek Carr up there, maybe this could have been the season where he got signed to that $125 million contract.
Maybe so. But I'm also seeing, so you got... Eli Manning. The next is Carson Palmer. So this is a little bit old.
Oh, dude. Yeah. What the heck?
But I like this category. Joe Flacco, Andy Dalton, Kirk Cousins, Nick Foles, Alex Smith, and what's his name with the Titans?
Oh, Mariota?
Mariota, yeah. I think that's a pretty good category. Actually, you know what? No. I got some of those in the wrong category.
Wrong tier? You lied to us.
Yeah, okay, so The only ones in the fake elite category are Eli Manning, Carson Palmer, Joe Flacco, Andy Dalton, and Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
And then in the next one is decent, but will never win a Super Bowl. That's where you have Mariota, Carson Wentz. I don't know about that. He almost won a Super Bowl. He just missed the game.
Yeah, he tore his ACL late in the season, but he was putting up record numbers that could have got him the MVP trophy that season. So
then Alex Smith, EJ Manuel with the Bills.
Oh gosh,
Jameis Winston, Sam Bradford, and Case Keenum.
Sam Bradford, man, this is old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish we could have found one more. I'll be honest, if we could have found one that was more this season, because I know I've seen posts like that too, and I didn't think to save the picture.
The farther down you go, the less relevant it gets. But the first two, it's just like, it was so bad.
Yeah, like, because here's the problem is there are some quarterbacks that were in tier 2, right, that I would put in tier 3, but when I first said that, I would mean tier 3 is just like, they're good backup quarterbacks if you're drafting in a fantasy league or whatever else. But I don't know if I'd go so far as to call them. What was the third category in this one? Just garbage?
Fake elite.
Fake elite, yeah. That seems a little too mean for some of them. But definitely Eli Manning. That dude is leading the league, the last 2 or 3 seasons in interceptions?
Yeah.
Like, he needs to just go away.
Here we go. I found a more relevant one. We'll go through this really quick. So top, Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Andrew Luck, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Spot on, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Above average, Cam Newton, Deshaun Watson, Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger, Matt Ryan. I think they're 2 for 2 here.
Okay. Yeah, that does all sounding better.
Average, you've got Baker Mayfield. We'll see. Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins and Carson Wentz, they're 2 here, should have been above average, along with Jared Goff.
Okay, yeah.
I think they should have been above average. But Mitchell Trubisky, we'll see. Garoppolo. Who's the Jets guy?
McCown?
No. The rookie that was...
Oh, yeah. Shoot.
Whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah.
Nick Foles, Jameis Winston, Dak Prescott, and Matthew Stafford. This is looking like a much better list.
Yeah, this seems much more legit.
Below average, Derek Carr, Lamar Jackson. Maybe. We'll see. I'm blanking on his name again. Marcus Mariota. Josh Rosen.
Sam Darnold. That's the Jets quarterback.
Darnold. Yeah. Who's the Bills? That's Rosen, right?
I think so. I do believe they acquired Josh Rosen.
That wasn't the Cardinals, right?
Josh Allen. That's
Josh Allen. Rosen was with the Cardinals. Okay.
Yeah, but he just got traded to the Dolphins, right? Because we were talking about Fitzmagic. I think he's now. I think he's now the backup there.
Yeah. Okay, and then the last one, the below average category, is Andy Dalton, and then this last category is just bad. You got Joe Flacco, Eli Manning, Case Keenum, and Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
This is a pretty good list here.
That one, I don't think I had any complaints.
No, I think it's all spot on with the exception of Kirk Cousins, Carson Wentz, and Jared Goff. I think they should be above average.
Yeah. I could agree with that. But they do tend to float in both categories, I would say. Like they're kind of just like in between those 2 tiers where it's above average and
maybe, yeah. Kirk Cousins is one of those guys that almost always is leading yardage.
I would say with Kirk Cousins, I definitely think since he had a year. I know it didn't go so well for the Vikings last season because they didn't make playoffs, right? Because they ended up losing that last crucial game.
Yeah.
But I think now that he's had a year with the team, he's got great weapons on that offense with Kyle Rudolph at tight end, Thielen and Diggs as his wide receivers, both deep threats every time. I think he can perform to become above average easily. And I do think that he can accomplish that easily with the weapons that he has. Now that he's had the experience, he'll be able to get more adjusted to the game systems and everything else that the coach wants. And they'll be more on par with each other because I know last season they showed all those clips on the sideline where he's sitting there talking to Thielen on the sideline like, no, you're supposed to run this way.
Yeah.
You did that. Yeah. So they're getting at each other. But hopefully, again, they're able to bring it together and give the franchise and the fans, what they want, what any fans of any football franchise wants.
Right. Yeah.
Super Bowl win. But let's see, who were the other ones we talked about? It was Wentz and
Goff.
Yeah, Goff definitely has same thing. Cooper Kupp, who's Woods is the other wide receiver.
Cooks.
And Cooks too. And then with I just said his name. We just did Goff with Wentz. Yeah. He's got Alshon Jeffrey with him, or is he with the Bears? I forget.
He is with the Eagles.
He's with the Eagles
He
now.
started with the Bears.
That's what. Yeah, I got confused for a second. But yeah, so they should all be good, and he's got Ertz too as a tight end.
Yeah.
Again, these guys
Nelson
are
Aguilar.
Yeah. So he's got weapons as well. I'm wondering if last season he wasn't able to perform as well since he might have been a little more cautious after getting his ACL torn. I'm
not sure
that Super Bowl year. But yeah. Hopefully he can pull it out for the Eagles fans. But sorry, like that's something else we can talk about at some point. Well, like who's got the worst fan base?
Yeah,
like and Eagles. I mean, you can feel free to
be in the debate.
Yeah, you'll feel free to hate me after it. But I mean, when you guys start throwing batteries at Santa, I mean that kind of speaks for itself.
Batteries at Santa?
You never heard about that story?
I can't wait to find out. We'll have to talk about this soon.
Yeah, it's like old history, but I mean, even still, fans nowadays get kind of scummy. I know one of the more recent stories was when the Eagles did go on to win the championship. They had the divisional round against the Vikings.
Yeah.
And they were highlighting for, I think, just like NFL, Sports Center, different ESPN networks and stuff. They were highlighting these two old fans for both teams. And I think both these people were well into their senior years. They're, I think, close to 100 or over 100 years old. And there was the lady for the Vikings is one of the fans for them. I think her name was Millie. And
right.
The Eagles fans were parading around town with banner signs that read, blank Millie.
Oh my
and
goodness.
Just complete crude stuff. It's just like, this lady's 100-year-old. She's just rooting for a football team. Like, why do you have to like personally attack her and insult her with all these kinds of just nasty things? It's like the lady's like, what did she ever do to you besides literally root for a team that you were going up against? Like, come on, like football should be bigger than that. It shouldn't come down to like, oh, you're wearing that jersey, I hope you die. Like stuff, just people getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
But so anyway, all that being said, I digress. But we don't just talk about football here, right? We have discussed baseball, and I know, granted, we are going into football season, so I am a little biased. We do have more to talk about because it's just around the corner.
Yeah.
But one of the other things that's coming up, you know me, Luke. I love mixed martial arts, and I love watching UFC fights.
That's where they do karate with each other, right?
Yeah, they all just take turns karate chopping each other's neck to see who gets knocked out first. But this weekend is a pretty good event. It's going to be Khabib versus Poirier, and both of these guys, it's the welterweight division. They're going for the championship to unify the belts, and both of them have great potential to knock the other one out. Like, they both have heavy hands, so I think it'll be an explosive match. Hopefully. I know sometimes it could be almost disappointing because I know sometimes you can watch like a super heavyweight fight and you think, oh man, someone's gonna get knocked out, and then these two guys just end up gassing, but not with their division, because all the guys in their class, in their league, they have the speed, they have accuracy, they have power, and it's anyone can win essentially.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely excited to watch that. Hopefully,
who are you going for?
It's a little tough because I don't want to get like too political or whatever here. And I don't know if that's even the right word to use, but the last time I saw Khabib fight, it was him versus Conor McGregor. And I know you don't necessarily like Conor McGregor because of his cockiness and the way he insults people and stuff.
He's like an Eagles fan.
Yeah, pretty much. But I kind of, weirdly enough, I did kind of get drawn to that. Maybe just because my little bit of Irish heritage I have. So I thought, oh, Conor McGregor, he's this cocky little. He was one of the first guys. I'll say this: he's one of the few guys in the UFC who can talk crap and back it up.
That's true.
So it was kind of one of those things where, hey, you know what? Fine, I'll root for him occasionally. And so I was rooting for him against Khabib, but Khabib destroyed him. Like, it wasn't even a contest, just got him down on the ground, choked him out or whatever. He got the title from him easily.
Right.
However, after Khabib won the fight, I don't know if you were there or if you saw any of these highlights, Khabib's coaches and himself started an all-out brawl with Conor McGregor's corner, his coaches, and just came in throwing sucker punches on Conor McGregor after the fight was over. The dude is about to get crowned UFC champion, and he just comes in and does this. And I know I've seen times where people have talked a lot of crap, and I'm not making any excuses for Conor because he did insult the guy on multiple levels, talking about his religion, whatever else. And I'm not saying I would necessarily like going that far myself. I would do it personally. It's a little over the line. But it's just it just kind of tarnished the night. Like, it's bad enough, when, say your fighter loses. Like I said, I was rooting for Conor, not necessarily the insults because they were a little over the line, but But just the reaction that happened afterward, because there were other fights where it was Chael Sonnen versus Anderson the Spider Silva, and Chael Sonnen was basically the Conor McGregor character, just throwing off insults, saying all kinds of crap about Brazil, that's Anderson Silva's country, himself, his wife, whatever else, and Anderson Silva beat him. And so I was happy when that happened, because I was just like, oh, dude, you kept running your mouth. You deserve to lose. You deserve to get beat. But what was awesome is Anderson Silva is such a great champion and a great fighter. That's why I loved watching him. He even went so far as to, after the fight, extend like, hey, Chael Sonnen, you want to come over to my house for a barbecue? Like, I'll gladly invite you over and we can hang out.
That's cool,
like,
yeah.
Like, he's this humble champion. He's this nice guy. So I loved seeing stuff like that. And for the first time in UFC history, after the Khabib versus McGregor fight, I'm just kind of like, I don't like the guy that much, Khabib, for what he, because I'm just like I said, I don't care for certain insults that Conor was throwing. They were over the line. I completely admit, and I know people have used that to then justify, like, well, you're going to run your mouth that much, you better be prepared to take everything, because he was saying whatever else, like I said, insulting him throughout the whole conferences leading up to the fight. And, so people were like, well, if you're going to insult the guy that hard, you better, again, be prepared. He came out fighting to defend himself in that way. But once the bell rings and the fight's over, that's it. Like, it's done. Leave it alone and move on. But he didn't do that. So all that being said, even though he's a great fighter, I'm rooting for Dustin Poirier, but I don't think he's going to pull it off.
Right.
He's got knockout power, but I don't think he's going to be able to stop Khabib, because Khabib's got a great takedown game, great ground and pound, just great hands in general. So I don't think Dustin's ready for what's coming.
Well, I'll root for him too.
Yeah. So, but let's see. From there, John brought it in a couple weeks back about just like odd sports things. I actually recently heard about this odd sports story, and I'd like to tell you about it, Luke, because I don't know if you know this, but did you ever hear about the baseball game that was played at the North Pole?
What?
Yeah.
How does that work? What direction does the ball fall?
Dude, okay, so let me go into this, right? It was a team of U.S. Navy men who took a submarine. It was the, let's see here, the USS Sea Dragon, and it was led by Captain Alfred S. McLaren. So they took...
Oh, yeah, that guy's cool.
Wait, so do you know the story?
No.
I was about to say. But yeah, so they took the submarine full of the different troops and everything, and he had them set up a baseball diamond specifically in certain areas. And let me just break this down to you, right? So this all took place on 25th of August, 1960.
Dude, that was like a week ago.
Totally, yeah, just yesterday. But so they had teams of 9 players each. When they laid out the baseball diamond on the generally at flat, quite still rugged ice surface with a base placed at each point of the diamond, the pitcher's mound was located at the center of the diamond. Typical baseball layout.
Yeah.
Positioned at our best estimate of the North Pole. The baseball diamond was then aligned that the following interesting / amusing things would occur during the course of the game. So here we go. First, if the batter hit a home run, he would circumnavigate the world as he ran around the bases to home plate. Second, if the batter hit the ball to right field, the ball would have to go across the international date line into tomorrow. And if the ball player from the opposing team in right field caught the ball and threw it back towards the pitcher's mound, he would be throwing the ball back into yesterday. During the game, sliding into the bases on the sea ice took a whole new meaning, and we were never sure what day we actually completed the game. The baseball was used supposedly, the baseball we used is supposedly in the Baseball Hall of Fame. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's like the coolest thing I've ever heard. And I wish I could have been a part of that game.
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to I think it's Baseball Nuggets blogspot.com. That's where I got the excerpt from the article. And then also Aaron Mahnke, if you guys don't know who that is, I listened to this from his podcast of the Cabinet of Curiosities. He covered this story in more in depth and kind of read off the same details where, again, you're being in one spot, you throw the ball across, and you cross that date line to where you're throwing either into the past or the future or whatever. So it's just kind of funny how all that played out. And I was like, man, I wonder if Luke's heard about this, because I know he's a baseball fan.
Yeah. Wow. I never heard about that.
I know. It's just these weird stories, and great. If you guys want to check it out, Aaron Mankey's Cabinet of Curiosities, he covers tons of weird stories like this. But I figured this one would be perfect for the sports segment to just kind of highlight and talk about again. And if you guys haven't heard about it, hey, you just learned something new today. There was a game played at the North Pole.
That's the kind of creativity this nation needs.
Exactly.
I'm so proud of them for doing that.
This is why America wins.
They're such geniuses.
I know, dude. I could you imagine being a part of that in history? It just sounds epic. But hey, maybe we can be like the second or third team up there.
Hey, one of these days I want to do a slip and slide kickball game or something.
Oh my gosh!
Have you ever seen those?
I
Where
think
you put
so.
a kiddie pool at each base, and then everything else is just slip and slide.
Yeah, it's just it's like water soaps. Like we slide quicker and all that stuff.
That's as close as I'll ever get to playing at the North Pole.
Yep. But hey, it would be definitely fun. Something worth maybe next summer. We'll see what we can do if we get a team of people together.
Oh, definitely.
But folks, I think it's that time of the night where me and Luke must sadly say goodbye and rest our beautiful eyes for the morning ahead.
That's right.
But
we have an entire week ahead.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, sadly, I think I'm even gonna have to work Saturday because of this 3-day weekend. So
really, yeah,
looking forward to that. But all that being said, folks, we hope you enjoyed this podcast. Hope you tune in next episode. And again, leave any comments on our Facebook feed, Instagram, if there's anything else you want us to cover, talk about, or you just want to leave a review. Like we said, go to Apple iTunes, leave that 5-star, and we'll get out there. We'll be more popular.
Yeah, we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Goodbye.